One of the things that people are talking quite a bit about lately is ways of making sure you are browsing as safely, securely, and as privately as possible. What I thought I'd do today is give you some quick, small ways that you can be that little bit safer, more secure, and have your information a bit more private when you're browsing the internet. There are two browsers that I'm going to focus on. They are Firefox and Chrome, and I'm doing that because they are the ones that we know have the best compatibility at this time with our school suite of software. There are really 5 things that we're going to cover here, and they are all browser-based, and none of them involve external extensions, add-ons, software, anything like that, just from within your browser. And the 5 things that I'd like to talk about are that you really should not save your passwords within your browser. It's just not secure. Anyone can walk up to your computer, click open a browser, boom, they're into whatever it is you've got passwords saved for. And once you've got something saved on your computer, it's really open to anybody who can get in there, and there are quite a few people who can. You should clear your cookies regularly. Some websites do require the use of cookies, especially some we use here at the school, so you can't turn them off completely, but you really should go and sweep up after them and pick up those crumbs every now and then, because they can add up to giving a fairly full suite of information to someone else about you. Don't have the automatic folder for downloads turned on. You want to make sure that your browser has a pop-up that comes and says, hey, are you sure you want to save this file, and where do you want to save it? 90% of the time it's going to be you. Hopefully 99 or 100% of the time it's you. But it could also be an indication that someone else, something in your browser, some website, is trying to download a file without you knowing it. So you want to have that warning. A little irritating at times, but well worth it. The 4th thing is how to turn on the Do Not Track settings, and that's available in most browsers. It's not a complete suite of protection unto itself, but it will prevent some things, so why not turn it on? And then the last thing is, you hear a lot of people, especially recently, talking about, oh, they do things in incognito or in private or private browsing mode, so they're safe. Well, sort of you're safe. You're safe in some ways, but you're not safe in all. So let's take a quick look at that. So those 5 things I'm going to walk you through very quickly in both Chrome and Firefox. So I'm in Chrome right now. The way to get to all of the security settings that are available within your browser is through these top 3 bars. I'm going to click on them and go down to settings. I am signed into Chrome if I wanted to get to some advanced settings, including setting a password that if I ever were to decide to save passwords on my computer, it would require dual authentication to get it open. I don't ever recommend saving passwords, but if you're absolutely insistent on it, this is the way to do it. The other things that are important for security are available to you at the very bottom under Show Advanced Settings. So just in the order that they appear on the screen, I've got a privacy section, send a Do Not Track request. So that's the Do Not Track setting that I'd mentioned earlier. The next thing is the passwords and forms. Don't have autofill and don't offer to save passwords. That will keep your information from being stored on your computer, which means other people can't get to it. Very important. Also, here is the downloads item I'd mentioned. Ask where to save each file. And again, that's to let you know when someone is trying to save a file on your computer. So that's the advanced settings page. The other thing that I talked about is incognito for Chrome, and it is available by going back to the 3 dots, new incognito window. When it loads, it gives you a warning. You aren't invisible, even in incognito. What it means, though, is that Chrome itself is not retaining any of your information. Your service provider could be, so if you're doing this from a hotel or a public site, they can still be getting your information. The websites you're visiting, they can still be getting your information. It's just this one instance of the browser that is not. The times that it is the most useful is when someone else needs to log into their email or their Facebook or something on your computer. Set them up with an incognito. It'll just give them a little bit more security from you, basically, on your computer, but it is not a fail-safe for you. To get out of incognito mode, you simply close the window. One of the things I had mentioned earlier to do for your security is to clear your cookies, and that can be done in a number of places. One of the ones is to go up to the 3-dot menu again, go to History, and click on History again. And that will bring up a separate page with all the history of pages I've had recently. This will allow me to clear my cookies and other data over these different time spans. I would choose to clear them all. Click clear, and this may take a fairly long time if you've got a lot of cookies saved. So if you haven't done this in a while, so be patient the first few times you do it. So again, in Chrome, all of your privacy settings are available through the advanced settings. In the normal settings window, it's It's at the bottom through Show Advanced Settings, and the way that you get here is the 3-dot vertical menu in the upper right. The other browser we're going to take a look at is Firefox, and it's very similar in a number of ways. Go to the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner. The hamburger menu means the 3 layers, bun, burger, bun. Click on that. Go to Preferences. And instead of having everything listed out cascading down one page, Firefox has chosen to use a menu system on the left. Here on the very first page is that downloads item I mentioned. Always ask where to save files. I'm still going to put them in the downloads folder, but I just want to know when a file is about to hit my computer. That's the safety of that. The next place I'm going to go for my settings is under Privacy. Use tracking protection in private windows. So this is one way that you can prevent some of the tracking from going on. Security, here's your login information. Remember logins for sites? Please don't, but if you absolutely need to, then use a master password and that will give you dual authentication. I don't recommend ever doing this. One of the things I'd mentioned earlier that I recommended you do, which is not available through one of these menus, is to clear your cookies, and that can be done through the hamburger menu. Under History, clear recent history. And you can choose the time frame. In Firefox, it has to do more with today or everything. And here's the list of the data it will clear for you. I would suggest you do this regularly. Daily, perhaps, certainly weekly. And again, that'll help keep there from being an accumulation of little crumbs that you've picked up through your internet browsing. Those little crumbs can add up to make a lovely cake of information for someone who might want to figure out more about you. So something you don't want to leave behind. Firefox calls its private way of surfing the internet private browsing, and it can be accessed through the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner and then going down to private browsing. As always, you should definitely read the warnings and the instructions here, noting what is saved, what is not saved, and how private it really makes you. Again, do not rely on this. This is superficial at best, but it is a basic layer of protection if someone else wants to use your computer. To get out of private browsing, go out, close the tab, and you're back to where you were. So that is how you can fairly quickly set up some very basic within the browser extra security measures for yourself. Other things you can do to keep yourself secure online on your computer in general is update your browsers regularly, update your virus protection regularly, and update the operating system on your computer regularly. Again, these should not be too onerous. They may cause you a little bit more of a delay in your daily tasks, but how much of a delay in your life is it going to be if someone gets in and starts getting through your passwords? Hopefully this will help you be a little bit safer when you're online. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns about any technology we use here at the school, please don't hesitate to let me know. And of course, I hope you have a great day.